some places are embracing design in every respect better than others. You think of a place like Perth, Western Australia, where my daughter has gone to my youngest daughter has gone to do a design degree in Perth, Western Australia. It used to be that people would leave Australia to come to Britain because these places were backwaters, and now Curtin University is one of the most respected design universities in the world. In fact, it's got more people studying design there than the two universities here and Middlesbrough and Tees University combined, and that's Perth, Western Australia. And my daughter said it's just one of the most cosmopolitan universities, Japanese, Americans, Canadians, and you know, this is why it's important that we work really, really hard. But one of the reasons I think they go there is because, does anybody know Perth pretty well? You just go around there as a designer and you think, oh my God, everywhere you look, you see just every element, every element has had an amazing piece of thinking about it. And just think what that's doing. Just think what that's doing for business. The one on the left there is being installed in every single playground at the moment in Perth, and it's probably hard for you to see what it is, but it's a disabled swing in terms of a wheelchair goes on that, and automatically it starts swinging because of the way that it's balanced. And so somebody in a wheelchair can sit in their wheelchair and enjoy a playground next to all the able-bodied kids swinging. You know, we haven't got one in Britain, and that's the kind of thing we've got to do. They've started to install. Well, the first one's been installed in London now, in a park in London. But in every single park, and I mean every major park throughout Perth now, they've got outdoor gyms because they think, well, the idea of going in a gym is, number one, a bit daft, really. Unless you like standing in front of a mirror and getting, watching yourself perspire, or you enjoy watching the lady on the running machine next to you surreptitiously through the mirror. But why can't we put these outside, and doesn't it create community and things like that? And there's obviously a whole new business there. Just now on to some of the things that we've designed, just to show you how. You might look at this. This was a very successful, one of our very successful designs. We still get quite a lot of commission on royalties on this, and it was a digital radio that was kind of they've been doing all those square wooden ones, and they've not broken into a younger market. They've not got the pester power. They've not got people saying. All the digital radios are being bought by people my age to listen to Test Match Special. It is amazing because you actually get Test Match Special crystal clear rather than it going on long wave. But what they wanted, because there was a lot of stations like Six Music, all sorts of stations that were aimed at a younger element of music, and people weren't buying the radios to listen to it. So they said, would you come up with something that was young? And we came up with something that looked like E.T. for whatever reason, But when the research was done, but the main thinking behind that radio and why it really did sell, it would have been easy to just think, well, let's get a designer in to make something that young people would like, and I think that's what the manufacturer at first thought. But we thought, it's not, design is not about what things look like; it's about the usability. And the first thing that we thought about this was, what did we use radios for when we were teenagers? And I know this will resonate with a lot of people, but I used a radio. I always fell asleep to Fab 208, that was Radio Luxembourg, or Radio Caroline. Pirate radios were the thing that I fell asleep to. And every time a record came on, because you couldn't afford to buy, I couldn't afford to go out and buy all the vinyl that I wanted then. You'd have a little small tape player, reel to reel, hooked up to your radio, or even not hooked up, sometimes with a microphone. And when it came on, you hit the record button. Look, all the heads are nodding, and that was your way of getting music. And then you would do your own little mixtapes when they invented, when you could do that, and editing became easy. And I thought, today, how could we get that back? Because now we don't allow kids to. You're not supposed to download. And we're stop. You tell your kids off for going on LimeWire and all that kind of stuff and doing the free downloads. But I'm sure you're allowed to record off a radio because nobody's ever said you can't because the performing rights are paid for. So I checked all this out, and legally it is. as long as you don't sell it, you can record music from a radio, download music from a radio. So I said, well, there's never been a pause and rewind radio, and yet we had, this was just after Sky Plus had started. I said, if you can do it on television, you can do it on radio, and then when you hear a track, you can actually rewind it to the beginning, hit the record button, record it to an SD card, and put it onto your computer. And they said, well, yeah, and we did it. And that's why this was the first pause and rewind Sky Plus of radios. And so, with everything we do and everything that I think most designers think like that. It's, you know, so please, if any manufacturers just think a designer's there to make things look good, it's much more than that. I won't talk about that because I haven't got time. What's that? A water butt. I mean, sometimes it is nice just looking at things and seeing how they can be designed. What's that? You probably can't see from that distance. And it's if this building had been designed properly with blinds, which I would have noticed straight away, that you can't hold a conference with a big glass window without them being tinted or with blinds. You will be able to see that is a water butt that is shaped like a backside, and is available today in B&Q. I'm not going to talk about that because I've gone on too far. Oh, yeah, I mean, I will. We're having the time of our lives in this recession. I can't say I welcome a recession because people get hurt, but we started up Red or Dead in a recession, which became massively successful for us. It's a time of opportunity. It's a time, I have no issue with Woolworths going under. No issue whatsoever. I feel sorry for the people who are made unemployed, but I'm sure that they can be more usefully employed in the future than selling pick and mix. You know, having a high street with a big store specialising in pick and mix is a fucking waste of time. And the British public have voted with their feet by not going in there. If we thought it was worthwhile, we'd go in there and buy all our bloody pick and mix and gorge ourselves on it. But there are plenty of places to get pick and mix other than Woolworths, and that's why it's gone. And a lot of, not all, but a lot of businesses will go because they're crap. You know, don't keep thinking they're going because it's a recession. Some go, but a lot go because they're shit, basically. There are so many opportunities, We have never been so busy. We realised when there was going to be it's simple things like when there's a downturn, when there's a downturn in the housing market, and please, like I said at the beginning, let's not go back and do the same, or we'll just end up with another one of these. But when there's a downturn in the housing market, people don't move houses. They still need to store things, they do things with their houses. So we thought there's never been any really cool sheds. So we came up with a new brand, Shack Up, designed some sheds. It is now the best-selling thing. This is after the B&Q catalogue. Can you believe that's in a B&Q catalogue? The best-selling sheds in B&Q catalogue. We launched now a range called Shed Quarters and Box Office, a new business we've started, home offices for the building, because the last time there was a serious recession, how many miners set up new businesses from their house? Starting in the last recession, me and Geraldine, Red or Dead, Paul Smith, Vivian Westwood, Tom Dixon, Matthew Hilton. It's a time where so many creative businesses will come out of it. It's a great time. If you've got a design mind on, if you've got a creative mind, it's bloody brilliant. As long as people don't get hurt, bring it on. And I forgot what I was going to say about this. But this slide has something very, very pertinent, which I will. I've gone off on a tangent like I normally do.